Yes, product is launching a parts and consumables series on YouTube. Cool. They want you to do it. Does this sound familiar? But make it edgy, though. And also get us lots and lots of followers and subscribers and whatever they're calling it. And make sure that it generates ROI by next week. Okay, so that's the situation we're all in, right? As you approach this, yes, it sucks. Yes, there's this pressure. But you have a choice of how you want to approach it. And what I'm going to ask you all to do is to use this, okay? So first, to use it to get closer to being a human brand. So first, we're going to say brand. How does this YouTube series that product is launching about parts and consumables, how does it align with our brand? That might seem obvious, like we're here talking about brand, like this is a brand thing. But come along with me here. Sure, how's it going to establish brand positioning? You'd probably ask yourself that. You might ask them that. Excuse me, how's this going to establish brand positioning? Elevate brand authenticity. Does it, in short, is this on brand? How do we make it feel like us? Does it differentiate us? Or did our competitors' product team just launch a YouTube channel about parts and consumables, and that's why we're doing it? Does it build consistency? Even if it kind of is like different from what we're doing and pushes the edges, does it make something more, does it make us more consistent? And then the brand equity at the bottom, that's a big one. Because when we're under all of this pressure, we are inclined to think short term and say, okay, this YouTube series has to generate leads tomorrow. But think about how it's going to feel for the brand next year, 5 years from now. Does it get us closer to or farther from? That's brand. Relationships. Again, if you've heard me say anything, I say, who's it for and why are we doing it? All the time. That's this. Are you prioritizing depth of the audience that you're trying to reach? Or are you simply trying to reach more people? Why? Why are you doing that? Surrounding yourself with advocates, nurturing collaborative partnerships, that part is saying like, hey, how are we getting closer to the people who actually want to be part of what we're doing, who are already fans of what we're doing? How is this getting us closer to them? Fostering a sense of community, considering the long-term impact. First, that was about brand. Now it's about relationships. Again, if we think more about breadth than depth, what's that going to do about the long-term impact of the relationships with the people that we're trying to impact over time? Okay? Brand, relationships, audacity. This one's my favorite. Okay. When you are met with something that is a big, crazy, audacious goal, sometimes it's yours. I love that if it's yours. But it can be really easy to think, let's do this big, crazy thing. It'll be so crazy and so awesome. But does it actually help us pursue the vision of the company? Or is it just a crazy idea? Does it prioritize creativity? Does it actually hold space for doing something different? Or again, are we just under so much pressure that it's just a rinse and repeat, copy C, control C, control V of something that somebody else is doing? And we're going to get to this one. This one's on here twice, actually. Does it energize your team? Read the room. Like, how can we take a look at, like, we've got this mandate. We need to create a YouTube channel for the product team about parts and consumables. How do we do this in a way that the team can get behind? Because we know what we're doing here. We can do something really cool with this. Values. Sure, yours, but also the company's. You got to know what's the why of your business. You need to know that. It's not just posters on the wall. And if it is just posters on the wall, it's your job to change that. What you're doing, that even the product series about parts and consumables on YouTube should be aligned with the values of the company. Why the heck do you exist? How does it advance that? Does it have integrity? Is it courageous? Again, with the audacity. Is it empathetic? And does it uphold the responsibility of what your company says it stands for? So something that might be out of alignment here is, let's say that your company is super high integrity, very kind of buttoned up, very kind, and then you're like, this parts and consumables series, we're gonna be so provocative. We're gonna like totally push the envelope. We're gonna get that crazy guy in product to be the host. It's gonna be awesome. Is it though? Because if it doesn't align with your values, no matter how audacious and like cool and creative it is, it's gonna fall flat. It's not gonna do what you think it's gonna do. Energy. How does it make you feel? I had a project once, very long time ago, that I was really excited about. Super, super pumped. Super pumped. It was creative, it was new, it was different, it was awesome. I had buy-in, I had done all the things. And I hadn't brought the team along with me. And so I was sitting in the room and they were like, what are you doing? And it was a grind, like to get them to, in this example, get behind the series on YouTube about parts and consumables that I was doing. I was like, we're gonna do it this cool way and it's gonna be so great. And they were like, I don't understand. So again, take a minute and say, does this align with the purpose of the business, with what we're trying to do here? Does it, like, examine your reaction to this and your team's reaction? Like, do we feel good? Do we not feel good? Is it a drain? Like, trust your instincts. And that doesn't mean, like, if people are like low energy that you're like, just kidding, I guess we're not gonna do it. It just means that you need to take a minute, because if it is a slog and you don't address it, it's not going to reach its full potential. Okay, so brand. Ooh, hello. Brand, relationship, audacity, values, energy. Think of it as a scorecard. And actually, fun fact, at the end of this, I have a QR code where you can get the scorecard to walk through all of this on your own. If you have any combination of those, but not all 5, don't do it. Don't do it just yet. Take a minute, because think about it. Think of any of those combinations. If you're about to launch the YouTube series about parts and consumables for product, and it misses out on, it meets all of them, but the audacity one falls flat. You know what you're gonna get? Something that's safe and boring. If you do something, we kind of already talked about it, that misses out on values, but is super high on brand and relationship and audacity, and everybody's energized about it, you're gonna get something crazy that you're gonna reach a whole lot of pushback and probably won't do what you think it's gonna do. If you have everything but nobody's energized about it, it's not gonna reach its full potential. If you have all the things except for brand, you're gonna have something, and I know you've all seen this. I come from podcast land. Companies be launching podcasts all the time that have nothing to do with anything. And they're great, and the podcast, like, super high, they've got all kinds of subscribers, and nobody knows that the brand that's behind it is behind it. Like, oh, that's by ABC Incorporated? I had no idea, that's so weird. So you've got to have all 5.